Today, I thought I would talk a little bit about slow stitching since I'm always going on about it. So, if you've been wondering what it is, how to get started, how hard it is this for me? Is this something I can get into? Then you are in the right place. So, let's start with the basics. What actually is it? At its core, slow stitching is the practice of hand sewing fabric scraps together using simple, straight stitches or very easy stitches, usually just basic running stitch. But it's much more about the process than the final product. Unlike traditional embroidery or quilting, there are no patterns to follow, no strict rules, and absolutely no perfection required. I can't stress that enough. In fact, the imperfections like wonky lines, frayed edges, and visible knots are celebrated here. This is definitely the place for you if you take a bit of a casual approach to your artwork. It's all about honouring the textile, recycling old garments, and enjoying the simple, tactile feel of the needle and the thread. I'm just going to do a basic slow stitch today. I've gathered together a few pieces of fabric. I'm going to do maybe a little bit of fussy cutting and a few of my favourite stitches. I'm just trying to relax and do something really enjoyable. I'm also in the middle of painting my lounge, so excuse any blue paint you see. I'm between layers, which is another good thing about slow stitching. It is something you can pick up and put down whenever you have the time to do it. So, where did slow stitching come from? Where's this idea come from? I would say it's gained huge popularity recently, but the practice itself is sort of deeply rooted in history. And it's based on the necessity of extending the life of clothing and blankets and materials. A couple of influences on the modern tradition: Kantha, which comes from India and Bangladesh. Traditionally, women would take old soft saris, layer them together, and use simple running stitch to create functional quilts, which happen to be very beautiful as well. There's also Boro, which originates from rural Japan, which translates to ragged or patched. Because fabric was scarce and expensive, families would patch and mend their clothing over and over again and pass it down through generations. So when you're practicing your slow stitching today, you can know that you are part of a wonderful sort of textile global history around thriftiness and sustainability and creative survival. So very modern issues of the day. The best part of slow stitching is that you probably already have everything you need around the house. So first you need some basic fabric, and this could be an old shirt, an old pillowcase, a canvas, a fat quarter that you've picked up from somewhere. Then ideally you might have some smaller fabric scraps, old t-shirts, lace, ribbons, fabric samples, I use a lot of swatches that I've got from upholstery shops and fabric shops that get rid of their swatches. It's very useful. You could look for lace samples, anything that you don't mind using again or breathing new life into. For needles, you can actually even just pick up a pack at your local supermarket. A lot of supermarkets just do sewing needles and some basic supplies. And you need something to sew with. And one thing I would say is if you can get it through the eye of a needle, you can use it to sew. So you can use your standard sewing machine cotton thread, some people do, for a very fine look. You can use pearl cotton, which is sort of a thread that isn't split down, or you can use embroidery floss, completely up to you, and some scissors. You don't need a hoop. Sometimes it's easier to work in a hoop for certain stitches, but a lot of people for slow stitching just work in hand, as they say. I've been thinking recently, because I tried a pattern that was called mindful stitching. Is slow stitching the same as mindful stitching? And I think probably not. I think mindful stitching is something slightly different. So slow stitching is the technique and the medium, and it specifically refers to the textile form of sort of layering your fabric scraps and using those simple hand stitches. Mindful stitching is more of your mindset. It's the act of sewing as a form of meditation or mindfulness practice. So you could be doing cross stitch, you could be doing embroidery, knitting, you could be doing slow stitching, but you're also practicing that sort of focus and intent of mindful stitching at the same time. Slow stitching has no rules or stressful patterns to follow, so that is why I prefer it to more complicated embroideries. When I first came back to textiles and embroidery, so I did a GCSE many years ago in textiles, and I carried it on through my early 20s, sort of decorating bags and clothing and things, but it kind of dropped away as I got older and had kids and things. But when I came back to it, I actually thought what I'd love to do is thread painting, and I did a couple of pieces. They're beautiful, but I did find them very slow going, which doesn't really suit my style, and also a bit stressful because everything has to be really perfect and beautifully blended stitching. So I've sort of come around to the idea that slow stitching is more my style. It's more relaxed. It's relaxing to partake in it, and the outcome itself does not have to be perfect. I've sort of developed my style. So what I'm doing today is typical slow stitching where there's no real picture, even though I might fussy cut these flowers and add these on. But a lot of my work that I'm doing, I have sort of decided it's fabric collage really, but I still consider it slow stitching at the same time. But most of my work, I am making pictures, little pieces of artwork. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you take anything away from it, do take away that there's no right or wrong way of doing this. Get your scraps together, layer them up, and just sit and sew and see what you produce. I've done a little panel here today, and you could add it to a bag, you could put it in a little book that you create, you could hang it on your wall, or you really don't have to do anything with it. You are creating this just for yourself, just to take that time and relax and do a little bit of slow stitching. So you could just pop it in your drawer and say you're finished with it. That's fine as well. I do have something in mind for this one, as always. So look out in a couple of weeks for part 2 of this video, where I will show you what you can do with one of your slow stitched pieces. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe, as it would help me out a lot. Happy stitching!